Welcome everyone to this explainer. Today, we're cracking the code. We are breaking down the absolute ultimate blueprint for conquering the highly competitive NEET 2027 medical entrance exam. Whether you're just, dipping your toes into the syllabus for the first time or you're geared up and ready to hit the ground running, this is your complete, zero-fluff roadmap.
So let's establish the high stakes right out of the gate. NEET 2027 starts today. Will you be ready? Look, starting this 2-year preparation journey early is without a doubt your single greatest advantage. You've got an incredible runway ahead of you right now, but that time? It's literally only valuable if you start using it today. It's all about laying that heavy groundwork now so you aren't scrambling and stressing out tomorrow.
All right, let's take a quick look at how we're going to scale this mountain together. We'll be covering your starting line, mapping out the actual exam terrain, building a rock-solid 2-year study plan, getting into subject-by-subject strategies, flagging those common mistakes you absolutely must avoid, and finally, focusing in on how to actually secure that dream medical seat. So Section 1, your NEET 2027 starting line. We are beginning right at the genesis of this grueling, but seriously, incredibly rewarding 2-year mission.
Why start now? Well, because time is your ultimate weapon against this beast of an exam. Starting early completely changes the entire dynamic of your prep. You see, you aren't just in a mad dash to finish a syllabus anymore. You're actually giving your brain the breathing room to deeply absorb really complex concepts. You get to make mistakes, correct them, and learn without that constant underlying panic. Moving into Section 2, understanding the exam terrain. Because honestly, you cannot study for NEET effectively without knowing exactly what kind of battlefield you're stepping onto. The entire foundation of this exam rests squarely on mastering 3 distinct pillars of science, which are, of course, physics, chemistry, and biology. Now, each of these subjects demands a completely different part of your brain. As we'll get into a bit later, they require completely different tactical approaches. But make no mistake, they are the absolute core of everything you're about to do. And when it comes to tackling them, there is a holy trinity of prep steps that are just non-negotiable. Step 1, you have to study your NCERT books every single day. They are your absolute bedrock. Step 2, you need to practice multiple choice questions daily to actually apply that theory. And Step 3, weekly revision. If you don't revise weekly to lock in that retention, you're just pouring water into a leaky bucket. All right, Section 3, the 2-year study plan. To keep you from feeling totally overwhelmed by the sheer, massive volume of information coming your way, we've got to scale this prep down into manageable, predictable rhythms.
The key here is establishing a consistent heartbeat for your studies. First, you need a daily timetable just to keep you on track day to day. Then, you step back for that weekly revision we talked about to lock it all in. Once a month, you need to test yourself under intense, realistic exam conditions with full mock tests. And running parallel to this whole shebang is the long-term balancing act, managing your regular schooling alongside your NEET prep so absolutely nothing falls behind. Which brings us to Section 4, our subject-by-subject strategy. Let's see how all of this builds into specific battle plans. Because trust me, studying biology the exact same way you study physics is a total recipe for disaster. You have to take a uniquely tailored approach for each area. Think about it. For physics, your focus has to be on deeply, fundamentally understanding the core concepts first, and then aggressively tackling those numericals. Chemistry is a different beast. There, mastering the NCERT text, memorizing reactions, and nailing formulas is your top priority. And biology? Well, biology is all about intense, line-by-line, almost obsessive reading of the NCERT text and completely mastering those tricky, complex diagrams. To actually execute those approaches successfully, you have to commit to a strict routine. In physics, that means solving numerical problems every single day to build up that mental muscle memory. In chemistry, you need to systematically and regularly revise its 3 core branches: organic, inorganic, and physical chemistry. And for biology, alongside your constant revision, you absolutely must practice previous year questions. Why? Because that is exactly how you learn how the examiners are going to try and trick you. Okay, on to Section 5, common mistakes to avoid. Knowing what to do is super important, for sure, but knowing the trapdoors to avoid, that is absolutely essential for your survival out there. There are 4 huge, extremely common pitfalls that completely derail aspirants every single year. Please promise yourself you won't fall for these. Number 1, ignoring NCERT. Seriously, that is basically just giving away free marks. Number 2, studying without revision,
which, as we established, is practically pointless. Number 3, just taking mock tests without actually analyzing them afterwards. If you don't see where you went wrong, you're just going to repeat the same mistakes over and over. And finally, number 4, an inconsistent study schedule. That will kill your momentum faster than literally anything else.
And finally, Section 6, your dream medical seat. As we approach the summit of this explainer, let's take a step back from the daily tactics and textbooks for a second. Let's talk about what it genuinely takes to claim that seat.
Here is a massive reality check. You do not need to study for some impossible, burnout-inducing 18 hours a day to crack this exam. You really don't. Just 4 to 6 highly focused hours every single day is the magic number. It is entirely about the quality of your focus, not just racking up a crazy quantity of hours.
Let's dispel a huge myth right now. Success in NEET is not about being perfect. Listen, you are going to have bad days. You're going to get mock test scores that might literally make you want to cry. That is totally normal. Success is strictly about consistency. It's about trusting the discipline process and just showing up to do the work the next day, completely regardless of how yesterday went.
Always remember, small steps absolutely lead to big results. You are not going to master this massive syllabus overnight. Mastery comes from stacking up tiny daily victories. A solved physics problem right here, a perfectly memorized chemical reaction right there. It all adds up. At the end of the day, consistency beats talent. Raw, natural talent will always lose to the focused student who just shows up consistently, day in and day out, for 2 whole years. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room, you just have to be the most dedicated.
NEET 2027 isn't just a test, it's this incredible, transformative journey. So, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Every single page you studied today brings you one literal step closer to wearing that white coat. Your dream medical seat is sitting there waiting for you at the finish line. The only question is, will you begin your mission today? Stay focused, trust the process, and thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.